stop this race. Our own Mark Webber is going to be battling back there.
His 5th top 10 qualification of the season. Excuse me.
Of the dry Saturday sessions following that topsy-turvy session on Friday.
Jean
Away they go! The 2 Williamses from the front. Look at the fast-starting Renault. Not a great start from Montoya from the dirty side of the track. He's being attacked by the McLaren. But where's Schumacher gone? Down to 5th place. He's battling hard with David Coulthard as the 2 BMW Williams go out of the front. And that was not the start Michael Schumacher wanted. Out onto the back straight, he is in 4th place.
Yes, and Coulthard unable to make the pass stick on Michael Schumacher. He's now under pressure from a Renault around the outside. He takes the inside line and gets away with it. Up at the front, though, Ralf Schumacher and Montoya with a comfortable advantage then at the moment. Not under pressure from anybody. Schumi just hanging on to that 4th. Collecting the inside curb, and there he is. Pumped his tyres up a little bit higher than anybody else to give himself instant early grip. I'm saying he's necessarily done that.
Here comes Barrichello, you can see attacking Verstappen. That's for 15th place. So
there's still a 6-car race. Interestingly, Ralf Schumacher has now ceased pulling away from Montoya, and they're doing the same lap.
Confidence that he needed in qualifying, very good pit stops.
There's Kimi Raikkonen pits as well, Anis and Webber, but they can feed back into the racetrack in front of them. And that's a slow stop. The fuel was in ages ago. Here's Michael Schumacher, David Coulthard, these 2 battling for 4th place. Coulthard has certainly been going.
He already had a 4.5-second advance. Look at that. Superb.
Really for Montoya there in that pit stop with the sticking rear wheel.
Yeah.
This is lap 19 then. There's still the race leader after the first round of stops. Get out of the way, he says.
We seem to be a little less competitive at the moment.
So actually, just before you answer that question, Jenson Button pulling off the track. But a word,
impressive from where they were at the start of the year.
Something curious going on. I think it must be traffic. The 2 McLarens both had very slow laps.
But how can it be so black and white for Ferrari?
A philosophy thing. That's Barrichello now getting quite heavily hooked.
4 seconds apart, so Trulli's really got to keep a move on if he's going to stay ahead of the Spaniard.
Yes, this is developing really into 3 separate races towards the front. The 2 Williams really are in a class of their own now in this second phase of the Grand Prix. So it's Ralf Schumacher 8 seconds ahead of Montoya. 7 seconds behind him is Raikkonen and Coulthard, who are just a couple of seconds apart and lapping very similarly in terms of lap time. And then Michael Schumacher, about 7.2. Well, Ralph's been getting a bit of traffic. Montoya's been pegging him on lap time anyway. And Coulthard pits now too, so they've just...
Because he leapfrogged very...
No change then for 3rd and 4th place McLaren as Ralf.
A little uptake of the pneumatic air system, I think.
Again, and the nozzle was out in...
Loses a lot of time. He should maintain that position over Jarno Trulli.
Effectively 5th place, your leader then.
Well, Fernando Alonso.
Perfect, and he gets it right. He is one of the quickest guys out there.
Thanks very much, Mike. We'll speak again later on. There's a pass there between Frentzen and Heidfeld, and that's allowing the McLarens to come through. They're lapping the 2 Saubers. Frentzen in front of teammate Heidfeld there, and they're running round in 14th and 15th places, which is pretty ignominious. Schumacher 5th, Trulli 6th, Alonso 7th, and Webber, we haven't seen him, but he's still in 8th place.
French Grand Prix, Magny-Cours, and there's action here with the Jordan under attack.
His throttle
That's
system.
a different car, it's Alonso.
It is indeed, James.
We could have a double Renault retirement going on here if we're not careful. That's a lot of smoke.
So, looks like it's not going to be a great day.
Now, we've not got that shot, but Louise is in the pits, and we've got a Renault.
Must be Trulli.
It must be Trulli, of course, finally grinding to a halt.
3rd place, podium position, potentially.
3rd team down, look for the black overalls. In he goes, if they can do...
Well, I'm not sure that they've got enough fuel in that. No, they haven't. They've had to swap to the spare rig. Oh, disappointing riding the car right on the limiter.
Oh, no!
Oh, no, it's pulled the...
The reserve fuel hose did not come out properly.
Here for yourself, he's in amongst the battle between Frentzen, D'Amato.
Steam down the pit lane, and a solid, if not spectacular.
Well, that's what I would call very well.
Going to be very close. There we go. Ralf should just keep it. As long as he doesn't cross the line, he'll be fine.
Oh, that's close. That's half a second. Never really been team orders at the Williams team, only very occasionally.
Refueling always takes longer than the tyres, and off he goes.
So both Renaults out of this Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso with an engine failure as well. We're riding on board with Ralf Schumacher, and believe it or not, the car in front is a Ferrari. Rubens Barrichello in 7th place at the moment, and Ralf Schumacher's coming up to lap him. The reason why Rubens Barrichello is so far behind, first of all, he qualified 8th on the grid, but secondly, in the very early stages of the Grand Prix, he had a big spin out of the final chicane, this chicane right here, and dropped to the back of the field. It's been a spirited fight back by the Brazilian ever since, but 7th place it is, and a lap down at the moment to the race leader.
Yes, and he lost a lot of time too in amongst the BARs, where he was racing them for position as he was on a comeback drive, and understandably they wouldn't let him through. He was lapping some 2 seconds away from his ultimate pace. Compromise his afternoon. He's going to luck into a couple of World Championship points at least, it seems, due to the rather sad demise of our team of the weekend, Renault. Ted, what can you tell us about McLaren?
And the paramedics have been into the McLaren garage to check on the fueler, Steve Morrow. He actually shooed them away.
Ralf Schumacher stretched that lead to 4.9 seconds now. The other fight between 4th and 5th place man Raikkonen and Coulthard down to just 5.5. Well, no, I don't think that's a problem. I think he just was told that it's common sense for the team.
Do you think it constitutes a team order?
Right into the pit lane, hitting the speed limit.
5 seconds behind his teammate Raikkonen, who's in 4th.
4 retirees then, the 2 Renaults with engine
and his pace as Martin
stayed within 23 seconds of the 2 McLaren.
As he has done throughout the Grand Prix. By Frank Williams as being the greatest push. Wow, he's gone straight on! Ralf Schumacher
now just 2.4 ahead of teammate Coulthard.
Up onto the pit wall. Let's see what it feels like then to drive the final time then into the Adelaide hairpin for Ralf Schumacher.
Grand Prix victory really has been a great drive from him. The rest of that point is now 12.7 seconds behind Ralf, 7.3 ahead of Michael Schumacher, but Ralf Schumacher peerlessly.
Track, the big grandstands on the outside, everyone's clapping, the air horns are blowing, final chicane for him, and Ralf Schumacher wins his 2nd Grand Prix in a row. He wins the French Grand Prix at Magny-Cours. Big thumbs up from him to everybody in the BMW Williams team. 12 months ago, his brother clinched his 5th world title here, but today it's all about Ralf Schumacher, an absolutely peerless.
Between one of the 2 Schumies, isn't it? It's got to be Ralf. Made the perfect start.
That problem with the standby fuel rig, and here is the official race classification after 70 laps. Performance of last weekend. Looking further down the order, Cristiano D'Amato.
16 finishes, once again testimony to Ferrari 39 points, McLaren 22. The most podium. Well, he pulled away from Raikkonen in the closing laps. That may have been unexpected. Is definitely against Ferrari. Michelin does have Williams and
of the tyre backer, but remember that Bridgestone have had incredible string of the one, and I'm sure they'll work hard. Big changes afoot for some of their tyre construction and compounds, and I suspect that we'll still see a full-scale brawl in the races ahead.
It'll be interesting to hear the comments from the drivers. Key laps. Definitely lap 50 when Ralf came out, managed to hold position at that moment, and then of course drive away from him in the closing laps. And lap 50 for a lot of people. Still a lot of pride there between the brothers. Michael proud of Ralph's achievements.
Well, it's a great performance, isn't it? And a great moment for the 2 brothers again.
Just don't challenge me for the championship, bro.
Yeah.